So what compelled me to nominate Dr. Elliott would definitely just be how much he cared for each of his students individually, how involved he was in all the right ways. I think there was just an incredibly positive, forward thinking whenever he interacted with the students, whenever he interacted with me personally. There was just such a strong desire to ensure that I learned everything and was getting all of the content, getting all the concepts, and just succeeding in his class in every way. And that was not extent to just me. That was to every student that he interacted with.
Well, especially my students in 100 level classes, a lot of them don't want to be in math classes. They don't like math. They've had bad math experiences. And I'm honest with them on the first day, and I say, I'm not going to try to convince you that you will need to know this formula to do some future job. But I instead tell them that at some point in your life, you're going to need to solve a math problem that you haven't seen before, and you're going to have to be able to figure it out. So we're going to practice figuring out new types of math problems. And I think that kind of mindset will stick with them. The content they'll forget, and that's okay. But the mindset of being able to solve math problems is the thing I want them to take away. And I think they find that motivating. Say, okay, he's right. At some point I'll want to buy a mortgage or start a business. I'm going to need to know how numbers or money work, especially in an era where any fact you want to know, you can find online. We have online calculators that are really precise. So I don't need to necessarily teach them all these facts to memorize or formulas, but I want to teach them how to learn things, how to teach themselves, and how to problem solve.
We want to know how to set up a differential equation for P prime, the rate of change in pollution in the reservoir. Not the total amount, not the equation for P, but just for P prime. So first we need to know how many kilograms of chemical P flow into the reservoir each day.
My philosophy is to train my students to be problem solvers. Like I mentioned, especially my calculus students, most of them are training to be engineers. We have such better calculators on our phones than they will ever be. We don't need to train them to be little human computers anymore. We need to train them to be critical thinkers. We need to train them to have resilience and to approach a scenario they're not familiar with and figure out how can I turn this into a problem that I do know how to solve, and then I'll let the computer do the number part. So I'm lucky at UK to have lots of good colleagues, and we're all trying to help raise students up to the level they ought to be at. But a lot of them come in with this anxiety about math or these feelings of I'm not a math person, and we want to say, well, you've struggled with it, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. We can help you get there.